How's it going, everybody? The best is, the best it was, the best ever will be. There'll be none before me, and there'll be none after me. Therefore, I am the one and only Jake Covey, and welcome to Wrestling Made Simple Live on a Tuesday night. We got your news of the week, followed by your SmackDown and Raw reviews, and then I'm going into a review of SummerSlam 2013. We then have your drink of the week, followed by the Battle Droid of the week. But let's get into news this week, though, as is a former champion leaving WWE. Apparently, WWE champion Bobby Lashley might be leaving WWE along with MVP and Tamina Snuka. Apparently, all of them have, while Tamina and MVP have not been offered new deals, Bobby Lashley was offered a deal but did not like the terms, and apparently has yet to sign a new deal with WWE. Now, the one thing Triple H has been doing very well is re-signing stars, whether they have been released or are on looking for new contracts. One he unfortunately did not sign was Ricochet, who has since left the company. I believe he has gone from the company. Apparently it was supposed to end in June or early July. Being that it is July 23rd, I imagine his deal is up. But with Bobby Lashley maybe leaving the company, a former WWE champion, is this showing signs of a new era in WWE where it doesn't matter what you have done in the past, it's what you are doing now. But speaking of not signing, we'll move on to a signing that AEW had of signing Melissa Santos, an amazing ring announcer, has worked with TNA, Lucha Underground, and is now in AEW. I am very excited for this. I really love Melissa Santos' work in Lucha Underground and TNA. Also, her husband wrestles there, Brian Cage. So it'll be cool to see the dynamic there, and awesome to see her in AEW. And finally, a former women's star very happy with how WWE is being booked. Apparently, Ronda Rousey has come out to say that she is very happy with how Triple H is booking the women's division. Very weird to hear Ronda Rousey actually really agreeing with it and the booking of WWE. But maybe it's because the star might be returning as CM Punk is trying to get AJ Lee to return to WWE. We'll need to see how that happens. But the women's division is hot right now, even though I'm not very happy with one of its main event angles. I'll get to that later on. The WWE women's division is one of the hottest divisions in professional wrestling right now. So I can't help but agree with Ronda Rousey here. With all that being said, let's move on to SmackDown. SmackDown kicked off with the American Nightmare in the ring, talking about his future SummerSlam match against Solo Sikoa. He proved who he was at WrestleMania when beating Roman Reigns. He wasn't ready at WrestleMania 39. That's why he needed to come back at WrestleMania 40 and finish the story. After this, A-Town Down Under would come to the ring, and they would challenge Cody to a match. Cody would accept, and it would be basically a 2-on-1 handicap until you would have Cody find an opponent. Find a tag team partner. I apologize. We then get Andrade versus Carmelo Hayes. Andrade coming to the ring not wearing his signature Black Mask skull. I actually was very sad about that because I love Black Mask. I actually dressed up as him for multiple Halloweens and had the skull mask ready to go. So it's sad to see him not wear that. I hope that he does bring that back. But he would defeat Carmelo Hayes in a very good match. Really enjoyed the chemistry these two have, and I hope this turns into a feud that could go on for a while. Maybe over the Speed Championship, or maybe over a United States Championship. We then get Bianca Belair versus Chelsea Green, and basically a match of who would get to see Nick Aldis first. This screams Attitude Era, man. I was laughing my ass off at this. Chelsea Green would end up being pinned with a roll-up, which really made Bianca Belair not look too strong. I really didn't like that one. We then get a contract signed for United States Championship. LA Knight would be called a gym bro, pretending to be The Rock. You would have Logan Paul basically be questioned about what he's doing here, and that Jake Paul has the balls in the family because he's willing to step in the ring with a real fighter like Mike Tyson, while Logan Paul is scared to jump into the ring with L.A. Knight. Yeah. Logan then signed the contract and said he will beat L.A. and will let him become what he is, a nothing. We then get Michin Mia Yim versus Tiffany Stratton. Michin Mia Yim would pick up the win after Bayley would distract Tiffany Stratton on the outside, taking her briefcase, allowing Michin to get the win. I actually really like this. It deals with my former Battle Droid of the Week last week, so it's really helping out Michin Mia Yim. Awesome job, WWE, for listening. And I doubt they're actually listening. I just want to point that one out. We then get your main event as Kevin Owens was revealed to be Cody Rhodes' tag team partner. By the way, great news from Kevin Owens as his mother is doing better, and she is is apparently getting back to her health. So awesome to see. Shout out to the Owens family. Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens would pick up the win over A-Town Down Under. However, after the match, the Bloodline attacked Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens. Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga held Cody and had him watch as Jacob Fatu beat Owens down. The Bloodline wrapped a steel chair around Kevin Owens' neck and threw him into the ring post, and then triple powerbomb Cody through the ring table. I hear people saying, like, oh, it's the same ending as last week. Yes, it is. It's to make the Bloodline look strong. It's to make them look like they are viable heels. They're shouting out Roman Reigns with the triple powerbomb because that's what the Shield did. One of the most dominant factions of all time. Of course they're going to have them do that. Just me saying this. I think it's bullshit that people are giving them shit about that. I thought it was a fun SmackDown. I really actually enjoyed watching it this week, so I would have to give it a B+, A-. Let's move on to Raw, though, as Raw kicked off with the King of the Ring, Gunther, talking about how everyone is bums, and he pointed out that he's kicking off Raw because Priest doesn't have it. Priest then came out, and they had a heavy brawl, which led to them brawling backstage and basically being kicked out of the arena by Adam Pearce. After this, we get Braun Breaker and Ishla Dragunov. Braun Breaker would pick up the win by referee stoppage. I really was angry about that. I really want these two to get a pin over one another or a submission. I understand booking both men strong with a stoppage, but it's a number one contenders match. So I think it should have gone to a regular fall, not that. Although Braun Breaker would pick up the win, and Braun Breaker is now your number one contender. We think it's Sonya Deville versus Lyra Valkyria in a nice little match. Sonya Deville would pick up her first win back since being injured. Awesome to see Sonya Deville getting a win and looking awesome in the ring again. We then get CM Punk coming out saying he has been medically cleared to return to action. Drew McIntyre would then come out and would announce that his suspension has been lifted. Adam Pearce would then come out and say he has a big referee problem since Drew McIntyre apparently has no problem putting his hands on referees. Which led to Seth Rollins coming out and being named the special guest referee. I thought this was awesome. Seth Rollins, his special guest referee, and now will announce his referee rules next week on Raw, while you have Punk versus McIntyre at SummerSlam. Only thing so far that needs to be added to the SummerSlam card, in my opinion, is a tag team championship match. Whether it's DIY defending their titles or maybe have the Judgment Day versus Jey Uso and a returning Jimmy Uso. That would be cool to see. We then get the Final Testament versus Xavier Woods, Otis, and Akira Tozawa. The Final Testament would pin Xavier Woods for the win. After the match, Chad Gable and the Creepers would come out. He would mock Otis, the Alpha Academy, saying taking over the Alpha Academy as the brains isn't Otis' strong point. He would then have the Creed brothers attack him and Akira Tozawa. However, during the attack, the lights would go out. And out would come Uncle Howdy to hit a Sister Abigail on Chad Gable, which looked awesome. I just loved it. This was so cool. And to see Bo Dallas hit his brother's finisher, to me, was just awesome. I think this is a great tribute. After this, we were supposed to get a match between Pete Dunne and Bronson Reed. However, it was canceled as Sheamus attacked both of them. I'm really excited to see where this goes between Sheamus and Pete Dunne. Maybe a SummerSlam match. Maybe. Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio would then go to the ring and call out Liv Morgan. Liv would come out into the stands and basically said Rhea is jealous of her, understands why, and claimed that gorgeous men like Dom don't go for women like her, they go for women like Liv. Dom then told Liv he can't stand her, he hates her, and that she ruined her life. This left Liv crying while Rhea very weirdly licked Dom's cheek and gave him a kiss. Very weird for the married lady. Very weird indeed. After this, we got Zelina Vega versus Zoe Stark. Zelina Vega would roll up Zoe Stark with a code red to pick up the win, leaving Sonya Deville and Shayna Baszler on the outside very stunned. Then it was your Raw main event as you had Jey Uso and Sami Zayn versus the Judgment Day. Jey Uso and Sami Zayn would pick up the win as Sami Zayn would run in and would actually do a suicide dive over the top rope onto the Judgment Day. I actually popped for this. I literally was sitting downstairs, I think making some popcorn, and I just jumped off my couch. I was like, holy shit, that was a moment. You would then have the Usos splash. They would actually hit the 1D, and that was awesome. But the Usos splash would pick up the win. After the match, Braun Breaker would attack Sami Zayn to stand tall with the IC title, setting up the SummerSlam match. Speaking of SummerSlam, let's move on to our 2013 review. The pre-show would kick off with Rob Van Dam versus the Shield's Dean Ambrose for the United States Championship. This would be coming from the Staples Center in Los Angeles, California, when it was still called that, damn it. With an attendance of 17,000 and a buy rate of 296,000. It was a fun show. Rob Van Dam would pick up the win by disqualification, so Dean Ambrose would retain his title. We then get Bray Wyatt's real first match on the main roster versus Kane in a Ring of Fire match. It would end in screwy fashion as you would actually have the Wyatt family somehow get involved by putting kind of a carpet over the Ring of Fire, get into the ring, and attack Kane. I thought that was stupid, though it would lead to Bray Wyatt picking up his first win on the main roster. After this, we get a feud continuing of Cody Rhodes versus Damian Sandow. They were supposed to be the Rhodes Scholars, and it would actually lead to, at Money in the Bank, Damian Sandow costing Cody Rhodes the Money in the Bank contract for a World Heavyweight Championship and getting the Money in the Bank himself. He would then squander said activity on John Cena, losing his Money in the Bank cash-in. Cody Rhodes would pick up the win, getting his revenge in 6 minutes. After this, we would get Alberto Del Rio defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Christian. He would pick up the win by locking in his signature armbar on Christian and making Christian submit. We then get Natalya versus Brie Bella, and Natalya would pick up the win in a singles match. Nothing really very home about this match. It was okay. Natalya would pick up the win with a sharpshooter. We then get the Best in the World versus the Beast Incarnate. 2 Paul Heyman guys going at it in a 25-minute no disqualification match. Very good match. It's one that you usually don't see Brock Lesnar pulling out. Brock Lesnar usually is a quick match guy. He likes to have his, I pick up the win, 1, 2, 3, I'm done. Brock Lesnar actually put in a lot of work in this match, picking up the win over CM Punk, but it was definitely a great match to go back and watch. One of Brock Lesnar's best. We then get Dolph Ziggler and Caitlyn versus Big E Langston and AJ Lee. Dolph Ziggler was the former Mr. Money in the Bank, would cash in after WrestleMania on Alberto Del Rio. Del Rio would then pick up the World Heavyweight Championship again, losing it to John Cena, I believe, and then letting Damian Sandow have his bullshit cash-in. Dolph Ziggler and Caitlyn would pick up the win in this mixed tag team match. Very cool to see a lot of women getting on the card. This is when women really started to become a main focus in WWE. And then we get your main event. This match sent shockwaves throughout the business because of how it ended. But it would begin with Daniel Bryan defeating John Cena for the WWE Championship, accomplishing his dream. Yes movement. They got their man. Daniel Bryan picks up the win with special guest referee Triple H calling the 1, 2, 3. And then Mr. Money in the Bank of Raw, Randy Orton, would come out with the red briefcase, which I still love to this day. If I ever start collecting, those are the 2 I want. I want a red briefcase and a blue briefcase. Randy Orton would just stand there holding up his briefcase, and then Triple H hit the pedigree and would allow Randy Orton to cash in, turning heel and forming the Authority. And he would tell the referee famously, "Now, ring the bell. Ring it." Randy Orton, 1, 2, 3. Randy Orton's the new WWE champion. Because no one can have good things. All your dreams won't come true. Triple H will pedigree you. This was an awesome moment, and it actually really fueled the momentum to go into WrestleMania 30 for Daniel Bryan to win the WWE Championship. So, if you're looking for the moment for Daniel Bryan to go into WrestleMania 30, not when it first started, as I said a little while ago in one of my Money in the Bank reviews, this is the moment that WrestleMania was starting to become a thing. This is a very momentous SummerSlam. A lot of big debuts, a lot of really cool moments of the women's division coming into effect. Still a couple moments if you're like, that wasn't too good. If I had to grade it, B-, B+. I could use a drink. How about a summer berry lemonade? 1 ounce gin, half an ounce of peach schnapps, some lemon, some blackberry, some ice, and some lemon. You're going to muddle some blackberries. You're going to add ice, strawberry slices, and lemon slices. Pour in your gin, pour in your peach schnapps, and top with some raspberry lemonade. Garnish with a lemon wheel. This is a delicious drink, perfect for the summer, perfect for summerslam. So, please enjoy. Do not drink if you are under 21 in the United States. Please drink responsibly. Do not drink and drive, and do not overconsume on alcohol. And now, everybody, it is time for the Battle Droid of the Week. The Battle Droid of the Week this week is Liv Morgan's promo. I really felt that this was a terrible promo and really sent a bad message in the women's division. I feel it's kind of bringing it a little backwards. Instead of keeping the women's division forward, instead of them going, hey, women are awesome, it should be judged by their looks anymore. Nope, it's the woman who's the hottest is trying to get the guy. And she's the women's world champion. I understand what they're trying to do, but I still just don't like it. I want it to be more about their talent in the ring than how they look. I want it to be about the movements of how they are able to pin somebody, how they're able to submit, instead of being like, oh yeah, she's beautiful, so she's gonna be our champion. Just my opinion. So because of that, Liv Morgan's promo is the Battle Droid of the Week. Congratulations.
Uh-oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening. Next week, I will be back with my SummerSlam predictions. So, thank you very much for listening, and have a great week in wrestling.